An explosive letter has been released in the media. Apparently and allegedly, this letter has been written by former police commissioner of the city of Mumbai, Parambir Singh, addressed to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray. This is a new development in a very complicated and fast moving case that we've seen develop on the Antilla bomb scare. And I'll give you the details of the background of the Antilla bomb scare. But the reason why this letter requires us to do a live broadcast, which we rarely do on news that is coming out, is because this has never happened before. Never before in the history of Maharashtra, at least, has a serving sitting IPS officer of this rank and seniority accused the government that he is working with of corruption. Now, this has happened because Parambir Singh, as you know, was shunted out of his office a few days ago by the Maharashtra government because of one of his subordinates, Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Vaze, and the case that came out because of him. Now, I just want to put on your screen this letter that we're talking about to give you an idea of why this letter is being called explosive at this point. We're popping it up. Now, there are a couple of things that are really, noteworthy in this letter. Now, in one of these things, as you can see on your screen, point number 6, and this is an 8-page letter. In point number 6, he talks about how he went to Varsha, which is the chief minister's residence in Mumbai. It's a residence called Varsha. That he went to Varsha and pointed out the misdeeds and malpractices of the home minister. That he briefed not just the chief minister, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, the deputy chief minister of Maharashtra, and the president of the NCP, Mr. Sharad Pawar, and several other senior ministers. Effectively, he has accused the Home Minister, Mr. Anil Deshmukh, of malpractice and misdeeds and corruption. And he has made it very clear in this letter that he had, in fact, briefed the Chief Minister about it, briefed the Deputy Chief Minister about it, and briefed Sharad Pawar about it. And of course, we're waiting for responses from these three people, although we do have a response from the Home Minister, and I'll tell you what that response is after we've worked our way through this allegation. Now, in point number 7, which you can see on your screen as well, in point number 7, this is where it is. The Honorable Minister, he says, called Sachin Vaze, who was heading the Crime Intelligence Unit of the Crime Branch of Mumbai Police. The Home Minister called him to his residence mid-February and asked him to accumulate money on behalf of the Home Minister. It says accumulate 100 crore rupees a month and achieve that target by effectively taking money from restaurants and other establishments in Mumbai. It says that, now this is the letter written by the police commissioner, allegedly. It says the Honorable Minister told Sachin Vaze that there are 1,700 bars and restaurants and other establishments in Mumbai. If a sum of 2 to 3 lakh rupees is collected from each of them, a monthly collection of 40 to 50 crore rupees will be assured. And the minister said the rest of the collection is to be made from other sources. Now, this is a clear accusation of corruption. I also want to draw, now there is a second accusation where the letter basically says that there were other officers who were called Shri Sanjay Patil, ACP Social Service Branch, and DCP Bhujbal were called to the residence of the Home Minister, but it was not the Home Minister who spoke with them. And this is Home Minister Maharashtra. In fact, his assistant, his personal secretary called them aside and allegedly told them the same thing, that a collection of 40 to 50 crore rupees needs to be made by taking money from the 1,750 bars and restaurants and establishments in the city of Mumbai. Now, what the former police commissioner does, and this is Parambir Singh, he also in this letter attaches what he claims to be a text message conversation with Mr. Patil, who is ACP Social Service Branch. Now, in that message conversation, again, now he says this is a message conversation that has been attached. It basically establishes allegedly that the Home Minister's personal secretary, Mr. Palande, told the two officers that they are to collect money from the 1,750 bars, restaurants and establishments in Mumbai and give it to the minister. I want to draw your attention to point number 12 in this 8-page letter. In point number 12, and this is important, he also alleges that the Home Minister, Anil Deshmukh, has in regular practice been repeatedly calling officers to his home and giving them instructions as to their official duties, bypassing the Commissioner of Police. And he basically says that, while you can hold me responsible for what happens on my police force, and I take full responsibility, instances of interference make it clear that the responsibility of wrongdoings lies at someone else's door. So, what effectively Parambir Singh is doing in this alleged letter is kicking the can back into the court of the government, and specifically Anil Deshmukh. And he has quoted the fact that Anil Deshmukh went on television and spoke to the press and said that the mistakes made by Parambir Singh in the case of in the Antilla bomb scare case were unpardonable, and he was held responsible. So effectively, what this letter does is says it's not just me, but in fact there was corruption that the chief minister, the deputy chief minister, and Mr. Sharad Pawar were informed of and did nothing about. And so it's not only me that should be held responsible. Now, before I take you to the responses that we've got from the Home Minister, something about this letter that we must note. Let me take you to page 1 of this letter, which is the first page of the letter, and you will notice that's page 1. It is not on any official letterhead. It can't be on the CP's letterhead because he's no longer CP, but it's not on any official letterhead at all. It just lists out Parambir Singh, as the sender of the letter, but that's it. Let me take you to the last page of the letter, which is also extremely important. There is no signature on this letter. This is an extremely important and obviously a hugely disruptive letter, but there is no wet signature on this letter. And that is something that we should look at. Now, why has this letter not been signed? What does it mean? Does it leave room for Mr. Parambir Singh to, on a later date, say, I never signed this letter or I never sent this letter because it doesn't have my signature on it? That is something that we're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out. And that's a really important thing to note, especially when making such a massive allegation of corruption against the state government, to not have a signature on that letter. Let me take you to the responses right now that we're getting from the state government. Mr. Anil Deshmukh has already spoken, and this is what he said. He's also put out a tweet. That's his tweet. He is Home Minister Maharashtra. He said that former Commissioner of Police Parambir Singh has made false allegations in order to save himself from the involvement of Sachin Waze in the Mukesh Ambani Mansukh Hiren case. It's becoming clearer from the investigation carried out so far, and threads are leading to Mr. Singh as well. Now, he's also made a statement which ANI has carried, effectively saying that Parambir Singh is making false allegations in order to save himself from any legal action, or in order to save himself from any blowback that's coming towards him. I also want to point out here that we did try to get in touch with a lot of former police commissioners to get them to comment, but a lot of them wanted to wait a day to see how this plays out in order, before they could comment, which is why we haven't got them on record just yet. But it's safe to say that nothing like this has ever happened in the state of Maharashtra. A couple of updates on the Antilla bomb scare case, and this one is, this is one update that came in today. Another body has been discovered today of a 40-year-old individual from the same Mumbra Creek where Mansukh Hiren's body was discovered on the 5th of March. The deceased has been identified as Sheikh Salim Abdul, who is a labourer. The police have sent the body for an autopsy. It has not been established the connection between, if there is a connection at all, between this particular body that has been discovered and Mansukh Hiren, whose body was discovered in the same creek. But I suppose we'll find out as the police, tell us about it. The other thing that has happened is the case of the death of Mansukh Hiren was up until now being investigated by the anti-terror squad of the Maharashtra police. It has now been shifted and taken over by the NIA as well. Remember, there are two sides to this case. One is the bomb, that the explosives that were discovered outside of Antilla, which is being investigated by the NIA. The other part was the death of Mansukh Hiren. Now, both of these cases have been transferred to the NIA.
There are many loopholes in the letter. That is another part to be discussed. But the one thing is there, and Anil Deshmukh, has to be resigned and face the fair inquiry. Still, the inquiry is not submitted. He doesn't come out clean. He should remain out of the, ministry. That is one thing. Second allegation, he was a part of this entire, racket which was run by him and the Sachin Vede and other team also. So he's not also innocent or the clean or sort of upright officer.
Anil Deshmukh cannot ask for an impartial probe when he remains the Home Minister because the police cannot. Yes. So you think it's important he step away from the ministry immediately?
Yes, the way he has handled the Home Ministry, it shows that he doesn't have the capability to handle the Home Ministry like a sensitive department. He has to step down. Power has given him opportunity in the beginning, but he is not a fit as a Home Minister. Therefore, he has to step down and the inquiry has to be initiated against him. Paramveer Singh, who were involved in this entire thing, whose names were mentioned in the letter, the inquiry has to be happened.
I know that there have been businesses, especially restaurants, that complain that they have to pay hafta to the police. But has it ever been numbers of this quantum, 100 crore rupees a month? I mean, it is a shocking number to just consider. Give us a historic sort of context to this number and to this accusation.
See, in Mumbai, and if you see, a lot of illegal activities has been done by the bars. If their duration is from the morning to 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, still they run up to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So during that duration, if they are running their shops and bars and pubs till late night, then they have to pay some hafta, which we generally say, and that quantum is really high in Mumbai because Mumbai is a capital of India. Everything happens here. So therefore, the whatever number has mentioned in the letter, it is not that much surprising. If you go beyond the Mumbai, like New Mumbai and then Palghar, Vasai, Virar, there you get more number of the the amount is more hefty than the Mumbai itself. For example, I will tell you in Panvel city itself, there are more than 200 dance bar or pubs are located. So you can imagine how much bars and pubs and illegal hookah has been operating in Mumbai. That much surprising.
Has the Maharashtra government compromised itself in a really bad way by reinstating Sachin Vazir into the force last year, allowing him, and it was obviously out of the ordinary for someone who is an assistant police inspector to be running point on such important cases. He was involved in some very high profile cases. It did seem like he was being mentioned in the press a lot, that he did have a direct connection with the chief minister. The chief minister defended him even after many of these charges came out. So has the Maharashtra government displayed, and the chief minister displayed in these cases, that they were in fact compromised?
Yeah, the way the chief minister has defended the Sachin Vijay, it looks like, he was their man only. So it clearly looks like that. Second thing that I think the chief minister didn't have got understanding, or he didn't gauge the damage, how much damage Sachin Vijay can make his government, his party, the Maharashtra. I think he has failed to understand and gauge that damage. Therefore, initially he defended, but later on he suspended when Sachin Vijay was arrested. Now the same thing has happened with the Paramveer Singh. They defended, but now then he was removed. Now the fire has reached to Home Minister himself. Now he has to defend himself, and I don't know how Home Minister will save this himself in this entire, rescue himself in the entire fire, from this entire fire.
Sudeep, what information are you picking up right now from your sources in the NCP and the Shiv Sena? They're obviously going to be up all night trying to firefight the situation, but is it likely we'll see a resignation from Deshmukh by tomorrow morning?
See, I spoke with a couple of senior ministers in NCP. They said that Deshmukh has to be resigned because there is no scope for the, Mr. Anil Deshmukh to remain as a home minister. That is the first thing. Second thing, Shiv Sena has, Chief Minister Office has confirmed that they have received the letter, but through the mail. They have not received by post, or nobody has handed them letter. That is the second thing. But Shiv Sena has not yet reacted strongly on this issue. Then we have to see the fate of Anil Deshmukh will, hang on the authenticity of the letter and who has written the letter. If the job has done by the BJP, then the power may have a second thought over removing the Anil Deshmukh. If he's saying that this is a very serious thing, then Anil Deshmukh will be, removed.
The letter is not signed. It's also not on any sort of official letterhead. It's not even on a personal letterhead. It's just a piece of paper. Do you think that there is a window here, perhaps, in the future for Paramveer Singh to turn around and say, I never wrote this letter because it's not signed? Is there a reason? Is there an eyebrow raised about the fact that it is missing a signature?
Yes, I will tell you, there are many loopholes in the letter.
Yes.
First thing, Paramveer Singh himself mentioned Sri Paramveer Singh in the letter. I don't think so any IPS officer mentioned himself Sri in the letter. Second thing, he doesn't know the full name of his own officer who worked with him. Third thing, the PA, the Palande, whose name he has mentioned in the letter, Palande was also, present when this dealing was happened. He has also not mentioned the Palande name full. Second thing,
Yes.
which I just told you that Mohan Delkar, the Dadra Nagar Haveli MP's death, and the way the paragraph has written and the way the letter has been drafted, it looks that the letter has been drafted by some criminal lawyer. So all the detailed criminal thing and the conspiracy thing has to become forefront. So therefore this letter raises a lot of suspect. The authenticity also has to be checked with this letter before a chief minister telling about this letter to the media or somebody else. The letter has been already leaked by somebody else. So we have to check from which sources the letter has been leaked out, who has flashed first. That is most important part of this entire thing.